the Noble Quran, Surah Thaha, verses from 99 to 123. Thus we relate to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some information of what happened before, and indeed we have given you from us a reminder, this Quran. Whoever turns away from it, this Quran, does not believe in it, nor acts on its orders, verily they will bear a heavy burden of sins on the day of resurrection. They will abide forever in that state in the fire of hell, and evil indeed will it be that Lord for them on the day of resurrection, the day when the trumpet will be blown, the second blowing. That day we shall gather the mujrimun, criminals, polytheists, sinners, disbelievers in the oneness of Allah, blue or blind eye with thirst. They will speak in a very low voice to each other, saying, "You stayed not longer than 10 days. We know very well what they will say when the best among them in knowledge and wisdom will say, You stayed no longer than a day, and they ask you concerning the mountains, say, My Lord will blast them and scatter them as particles of dust. Then he shall leave them as a level, smooth plain. You will see therein nothing crooked or curved. On that day, mankind will follow strictly the voice of Allah's caller. No crookedness, that is, without going to the right or left or of that voice, will they show him Allah's caller, and all voices will be humbled for the most gracious Allah, and nothing shall you hear but the low voice of their footsteps. On that day, no intercession shall avail except the one for whom the most gracious Allah has given permission and whose word is acceptable to him. He, Allah, knows what happens to them, his creatures, in this world and what will happen to them in the hereafter. But they will never encompass anything of his knowledge, and all faces shall be humbled before Allah, Al Hayyul Qayyum, the ever living, the one who sustains and protects all that exists, and he who carried a burden of wrongdoing, he who disbelieved in Allah, ascribed partners to him, and did deeds of his disobedience, will be indeed a complete failure on that day. And he who works deeds of righteousness while he is a believer in Islamic monotheism, then he will have no fear of injustice, no of any curtailment of his reward. And thus we have sent it down as a Quran in Arabic and have explained therein in detail the warnings in order that they may fear Allah, or that it may cause them to have a lesson from it, or to have the honor for believing and acting on its teachings. Then high above all be Allah, the true King, and be not in haste, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the Quran before its revelation is completed to you, and say, My Lord, increase me in knowledge. And indeed, we made a covenant with Adam before, but he forgot, and we found on his part no firm willpower. And remember, when we said to the angels, Prostrate yourselves to Adam, they prostrated themselves, all except Iblis, Satan. He refused. Then we said, O Adam, verily this is an enemy to you and to your wife, so let him not get you both out of paradise, so that you will be distressed. Verily, you have a promise from us that you will never be hungry therein, no necked, and you will suffer not from thirst therein, nor from the sun's heat. Then Satan, whispered to him, saying, O Adam, shall I lead you to the tree of eternity and to a kingdom that will never waste away? Then they both are of the tree, and so their private parts became manifest to them, and they began to cover themselves with the leaves of paradise for their covering. Thus did Adam disobey his Lord, so he went astray. Then his Lord chose him and turned to him with forgiveness and gave him guidance. He, Allah, said, Get you down from paradise to the earth, both of you together. Some of you are an enemy to some others. Then, if there comes to you guidance from me, then whoever follows my guidance, he shall neither go astray nor shall be distressed.